What's up, guys? This is, I don't know, EUC Wizard or Wizard on Wheels or probably something of the like. I'm not sure what I've decided on yet. I have another YouTube channel. It's End Bash, but there's just a bunch of random stuff on there. I wanted to make a channel that was just solely dedicated to the unicycle. I'm heading to the mountains right now, where I grew up. The house where I grew up. There's about 50 acres that I can play on. You know, I watch a lot of Chooch's videos, Arc Rides. Big shout out to him. He is actually a content creator who talks to me. Well, him and Adam from Wrong Way. I sent him a message asking about cameras, and he got back to me. But ultimately decided on this Insta 360-1X. Pretty good deal since it's the last generation. But yeah, I've got about an hour and a half drive back home, and we're gonna see how I do on something other than pavement and other than my front and backyard. So should be pretty fun. Yeah, just stay tuned.
So here we are on the mountain. I'm going to cut a lot of the audio from the actual ride. I'll keep some of it here and there. This is starting out like behind the house. It's where my dad likes to park all his old trucks and stuff. Most of these trails that were on the property, he kind of blocked off over the years because he was kind of tired of people riding on his property without permission. It was most of the time ATVs, and then I guess later on side-by-sides once they kind of gained popularity. It had actually been like 2 weeks since it rained, so I figured everything would be dried up, but there were still quite a few mud puddles, and the gravel was way harder to ride on than what I thought it was going to be. Like, I mean, I'm zooming in some of these parts, but it gets a little sketchy sometimes. I had several close calls. Right here, I'm coming up to a curve. And the whole time I was growing up, this curve was always like super tore up. There was big rocks sticking out of it. Like, I wasn't even sure if I was going to be able to go down to it, but it turned out that I guess they scraped it and laid down more gravel, and it really smoothed it out there. This place right here that I'm talking about, that I pointed at, me and my friend used to always go down there, and there was this awesome spot where you could see the whole city. You'll see a little bit later that didn't quite go as planned, because yeah. You'll see what I'm talking about. But for the most part in this video, I tried to keep it without cutting it. I sped up some places, just to keep it all just one continuous shot. I didn't want to slice it up into a million pieces and delete certain sections and stuff. I just kind of wanted to show the whole experience of the ride that I had. This road that I'm going down now goes to a gas well, and there was a fairly steep hill climb. I mean, it wasn't anything super crazy or anything that we used to take the four-wheelers up and down. And there was also a little jump that was in the middle of the flat spot down below where the gas well was at. And I was hoping that was there because I wanted to actually try hitting a jump, but it turned out the jump wasn't there, and the gas well wasn't there either. So I guess they kind of just moved out, you know. This part, it was real sketchy, man. There was all kinds of ruts and stuff, and I had to be pretty precise with that. And this right here is the hill climb, which got even more sketchy looking. and I didn't want to try too hard because I had just got my camera, and I didn't want to risk like falling and scratching up the lenses or anything like that, because as far as I know, there's nothing you can do if you break a lens on a Insta360. So I kind of gave it a little like medium try there, and I think I could have made it if I would have pushed it hard, because I've definitely went up stuff with no camera that was probably a little steeper, and maybe not quite as screwed up as that was, but this curve right here, the gravel was super loose going around this curve, and so I was just sliding everywhere. I couldn't really get a whole lot of speed going around it because it was just kept on spinning the tire. See right there was a little trail which he had blocked off that went up into the woods. I could probably get up to a lot of those places. None of them were really worth it. It was just kind of just like short little paths that people had made for no reason other than going into the trees. Right here was another gas well that was actually still there. It's behind that fence. It's another steep little section. The road right here was real rough. You can't really tell from the video, but it was pretty bad rutted, and there was lots of mud. As you'll see, I have to kind of maneuver myself around these two, or in between these two mud puddles. This is my first time really going off of the pavement, other than my backyard, and it was interesting. It was definitely a new experience. I like both for different reasons. The pavement, man, you can get all these really deep carves in, and just feels like you're gliding. But you know, there's just something about being off-road, or mostly off-road gravel. It's pretty sweet, man. I mean, there's nothing really like it. I mean, either or, on or off-road. This whole obsession started, I think, when I saw one of Chooch's videos, and I was just done from there, man. I started watching the videos, watched for months and months and months, and finally I made a little bit of money from Doge, so I had to get one, man. I was just like, screw it. I've got the extra cash. I'm taking this dive. It's gonna be worth it. It's gonna be a lot of fun, and I'm really happy that I did, because it's unlike anything. Right here coming up is it's really interesting. You'll be able to see it. There was a moth that flew past the camera, and I actually went back on the footage right here. There it went. I went back on the footage, man, and rotated it around and slowed it down. And yeah, it was a moth or a butterfly or something that just zoomed by. I didn't even realize it whenever I was there. I didn't realize it until after the fact. It's pretty cool, man. I definitely love this camera. I went with the older generation because I couldn't really justify twice the price just for a newer generation that has the same, I think it's the same resolution, maybe just like slightly better HDR or something. I don't think the frame rate's higher or anything, So I was just like, yeah, I'm just gonna, pay half price and get the older model. The newer model has the screen and everything. That's pretty cool, but it just wasn't worth it for something that might not take off. Which, speaking of which, if you're watching this, you're enjoying it, seeing the Appalachian mountains. Hit that subscribe button. Give me a like. Much appreciated. It'd be cool to generate a little bit of money from doing this. Maybe support my wheel habit. I already want a faster one. It's only been, I guess, 2 months since I got my 16X in, and I already want something faster. It's not fast enough for me. Here I just kind of jumped off. I was like, there was a big mud puddle there, and I just went far enough down that path. I really couldn't remember what was down there. It had been so long since I hit all these trails on my four wheeler back in the day. Right here is coming the crash. Coming up is the crash from the intro there. One of the mud puddles. It didn't get me on the way through, but yeah, it got me pretty good on the way back. I guess my confidence levels went up a little bit, and so yeah, it got me. I think at the time I was saying something like the pedals clipped or something. That definitely wasn't the case. I went back and I looked. It was just it was Tokyo Drift, and then a crash and burn. Man, that's what happens. There's one section that I just sped up, and it was just pitiful. It was so muddy, man. I kept on slipping over and over again, just going down. Yeah, I said screw it. I just sped it up. I kept it in there because, like I said, I don't want to cut too much. Kind of want to give the whole experience.
Did you do it? Yes. Do I recommend it?
And right here, I'm talking about the gravel. I'm like, can you ride on gravel? Yeah, you can. Would I recommend it? Probably not. I don't know. At the time, it seemed a little more sketchy, I think, but it was definitely a lot of fun. The not fun part came whenever I walked back up that one trail that I decided to stupidly go down, and you'll see it. It's gonna be here in it's probably at least another 5 minutes before we get to that point. This is that sketchy curve again. I was going super slow down it just because of the trouble I had coming up. Probably wouldn't have been as sketchy going down, but then again, I don't know, because I could have just rolled probably and just went fine. The issue with coming up is, you lean a little bit too much and the tire starts spinning and throws you off balance. And then right here, I stopped at the cemetery just to sit down and get a drink of water. I really need like a camel pack or something like that, so that way, if I decide to go out, I don't have to stop every so often and get a drink of water. So I just sat down here and chilled out for a second. Didn't actually go in the cemetery. I mean, whenever I was a kid, we used to walk out to the different cemeteries. There's all kinds. and just kind of, chill out. Kind of weird that me and my siblings hung out in cemeteries, but whatever, man. There wasn't much to do, dude. I was on top of a mountain. I forgot my water and had to go back for it. And then, okay, so the cut that was on that hill climb, I tried to get it pretty good, and I didn't. This one, and I tried a few times too. That one was just like seamless.
This cemetery's grown up.
Didn't even have to try.
They purchased this plot.
And this cemetery here, like my dad sold him this other plot, like past that first fence. Sold it to him so that way they could expand the cemetery. And then, man, it's just like all grown up, dude. I mean, I don't know if the families of the people that were buried there are no longer in the area. If there's like no groundskeeper or what, but yeah, it looked pretty horrible, man. That's the thing about the area, man. It gets a really bad rap. There are a lot of drug abusers and stuff like that, but it's an awesome place. I mean, it really is. Everybody's super friendly. The ones that aren't on drugs, and actually the ones that are on drugs are still kind of friendly, I guess. If they don't rob you blind. But anyway, it sucks. It's slowly deteriorating. There's less and less the more I go back as an adult. Now this is the trail. This is where, like, I should have never went down here. This was a horrible idea. There was an awesome view I wanted to try to get to, and it just didn't happen. I went down here. I had to stop the feed because I was like, well, I only have a 32 gigabyte SD card, and I had one that was in my Chromecast that I wasn't using. I was gonna put emulators and stuff on it. And I thought, oh, well, I can use it for this. No, turns out it's not high enough bitrate. So I ended up not using it for that reason because it wouldn't have worked. And so I had to conserve. So I turned it off from time to time just to conserve. And I walked down that hill, dude. I wish I would have never walked down that hill because I mean, look, it was constant, man. Just like slipping out and like having to get back on, and it's just so muddy, dude. It was like a marsh, man. And whenever I was younger, a teenager, it wasn't like this. There wasn't grass on the road. There probably wasn't as many puddles and stuff either, But this is when I decided to go back because, like, part of my power pad popped off and I had to find it, and it was not fun. I was like, man, I walked down there for nothing. I walked down that hill for like 15 minutes or so, I guess, and then I had to walk back up. And you're about to see, I didn't realize how steep that hill was. It was a nightmare. I regretted it time and time again as I was walking up through there. Oh man, you'll see. I made a little video halfway up. You're about to see, man. I was exhausted, dude. It's coming up right here. The funny thing is, things don't look so steep until you're coming back up. Oh, fuck. Especially when you're all padded up and have a helmet on. When you're 30 but look 45, it can be a slight issue. Well, that was a shout out to a dude that I work with. Jesus. He was constantly asking people, how old do you think this guy is? And he was like 20 at the time, right? Like fresh out of high school. He's like, dude, you look old as fuck. And I was like, well, Thanks, dude. I appreciate it.
For all future EUC riders or current.
So then for Christmas one year as a joke,
It's bad.
well, I don't guess it was a joke. It might have actually been a sincere present, but he got me just for men
To be honest with you,
hair dye, you
stay
know,
away from gravel
to get
roads,
rid of the gray.
'cause they're fucking 90.
And I was like, dude, I'm not using that, man.
It's
You kidding me?
lessons you have to learn. Or you can just say
So
fuck
yeah,
it.
that was after I made it back up. Like I'm exhausted at this point, man. I'm killed. I just spent, 25, 30 minutes walking up this really steep hill. I'm just trying to get back to the house.
I don't think it was paved. They used to put on it. It was that shit.
Yeah, I'm complaining. And right here, I tried the whole like back behind view that I see a lot of people do. Adam does it. Chooch does it. Arc rides. Like I said in the car, yeah. Big shout out to that guy. I mean, his channel's not really that big yet, but yeah, me and him have had many conversations. He's a really cool dude, so check him out if you haven't. He's from Australia, I want to say. I'm not sure, but his content's pretty solid. He's kind of a little trolly sometimes with the way he edits, but it's pretty great, man. I enjoy his stuff. But anyway, this is pretty much the end of the video, so if you liked it,
And down on my bike.
give me a
Doing it.
subscribe, like, and yeah, that'd be awesome, man.
Slippery as shit.
If I get some views, I'll definitely make some more videos. In the area where I'm at now, it's more of a city. Maybe I'll take some trips to the gas station or something. I don't know, man. Like that Duff guy's always going to Starbucks, so
I'll take an actual bike trail next time. Guys.
give the people what they want, I guess.
Still need to figure it out.
All right, yep. Until next time, guys. Thanks for watching.
Until next time. See ya.